So today I'm in Hong Kong Central, see all the buildings around us, and I'm with Eli from Insta360.
That's the one.
He's the global strategy
brand
guy.
strategist. That's it. Brand guy.
Yeah, brand guy. Yeah. Today we have this over there.
This is the second generation of the Insta360 Pro.
Yeah, kind of looks like the last one, but it got two antennas now.
Right, it's grown a couple of ears up here, and you can see they fold down as well if you want to have a more laid-back style.
It is even more funky. Before that, it's already, people say that it looks like the K2.
Yeah, the Star Wars droid. Yep, we're continuing our anthropomorphic design language with this generation as well.
Actually, the last Pro, the Insta360 Pro, beginning of this year, you have a firmware update that make it up to 12K.
Yep.
12K video.
Yeah, there was...
no, the 12K, is it video or photo?
Photo.
Photo, 12K photo.
The Insta360 Pro, it had 8K flat video, monoscopic, but the major upgrade with this one here is that we now do 8K 3D right off the camera.
Before that, it was 6K 3D?
Yeah, and with this one you have 8K 3D. We also have a new in-camera HDR mode for video, which is a major image quality upgrade for
video.
us. For video.
You mean it support the HDR like color profile, or it kind of like HDR photos?
We're using a technology called digital overlap. We're combining individual frames from a video in very, very quick succession so that you get a much higher dynamic range within any given frame of the video.
I haven't got that on smartphone yet, and you got it for VR.
For our six camera 360-degree camera.
It was possible because you got more cameras. Is it like that?
So it's I guess a more complicated, but in principle we just have to be doubling up every single lens and then going ahead and combining them all together again. The individual resolution of each of these cameras is 4K.
Yeah.
And then we're taking that and using either our stitching software, or you can use a processor on board the camera. You are stitching it together into one fully spherical image.
Is it because they overlap so you can make it?
Exactly, because there's actually every point in our environment here is covered by at least 2 lenses. Most of them are covered by 3. So because you have so much overlap,
because that's why you can do 3D as well.
We now have a 60 Fps mode. So for any time you have action in a VR scene, you're going to be super sensitive to if the frame rate's too low, you're going to be able to see it immediately, because it's just, you're going to notice that's not how I normally feel in real life. So that's why the 60 FPS is another huge upgrade on this one. And if you have any kind of dynamic motion in your scene, it's just going to look way better.
Actually, what's that antenna for? What's the antenna about?
We have, on one side over here, you have an antenna to extend the Wi-Fi signal. So your Wi-Fi range, if you want to connect to the camera with Wi-Fi and control it that way, is now going to be stronger. And the other thing over here is we have a GPS signal. This camera now has an onboard GPS module. We work together with Google, so we can directly upload footage and photos from this camera to Google Street View, and then Google will take that, and based on our GPS data, they're going to put it exactly where you took it with no extra work on your part. There's another really important upgrade regarding how we control and how you preview the footage, because up until now there's been a huge problem for VR creators, which is how do you direct your scene when you can't be on set? When you shoot VR, you have to hide. You have to hide, and you did have to hide. We've heard of people like that are shooting on islands, and they'll literally just go like jump under the water and try to lay low for a little while. They'll go hide behind a tree. So it's a huge problem, and it's pretty surprising that no one has actually come up with a good solution so far. But with this camera, what you see here, transmitter and a receiver. And I like that receiver. It's a receiver and an iPad holder. It's an iPad holder. A mount. Yeah, you can mount it on an iPad. It also works with a smartphone or a laptop, or basically any control device that you want to use. We have an app for iOS and Android. The cool thing about this is it's using a 5.18 gigahertz signal. So it's don't know what that means, but yeah, it sounds cool. Basically, it means
is it for fast speed?
It's mostly about, this is not a commonly used frequency, which
Okay.
means that you're not going to have to worry about interference.
Yeah.
The max range of this transmitter is about 300 meters. So it's way more than enough to go hide, stay away, and then also get a low latency preview. So aerial shooting, actually the range is even further. You get roughly 2 kilometers if you're doing ground to air, unobstructed line of sight signal.
Should we try the range? Should we try?
Sure. Yeah, let's take a walk.
Take a walk.
Yeah, and we're also, it is behind a big sculpture, so we have an obstruction here to try.
Metal. I think that sculpture metal as well.
Right.
It lights up.
Like glass and metal.
Still working.
And also we have, up here you can see, we have an indicator of our frame rate, so we're about 30 FPS right now.
Getting to a distance that you worry that it got stolen.
Right. It's lucky that we can see if anyone
we got footage.
Trying anything sneaky.
For this distance, you probably don't have to hide. You're already so small on the screen.
Right.
I mean, you're so small on the 360 videos, like the ends.
You're at least not going to look out of place, right? At most, you'd look like a pedestrian at this distance. It's not going to look like you have a film crew standing next to the camera.
Yeah, you don't even have to hide. That's the thing. In the frame, do you still got no? Well, in 360, you don't got a frame.
Right. I don't. That's part of one of the problems of this is that you have to invent the language as you go along because. Yeah. What do you call it? I mean, just in view.
The
field of view. But field of view is everything.
Yeah. We ran out of space.
Right. We've now run about up to where we can walk to, and we're still connected.
Yeah, and it's still live. We were there. When if you want to do 8K 360 with other setup, it will be huge, and then probably not as easy because it's do stitching inside, is it?
Yes, you have the option to stitch on board or do stitching in post, and the cool thing about this camera is you can actually do both. I can stitch in real time if I want to do, say, a live broadcast, but then at the same time I save the original footage to these individual cards at full quality and highest bit rate.
Got each card for each camera, so you can put 6 mini micro SD card. Yeah, and then there's still one full-size SD card here. So what does it do? So the full-size SD card, if you're using the real-time stitching algorithm, if you're stitching together in real time, that will be saved on here. And then all of our photos are saved on here as well. The other really important thing that this card does this time is it saves our stabilization data. So this camera has a 9-axis gyroscope, and we're getting really accurate movement data about what the camera's doing. Then we use an algorithm called flow state. We first developed this for an action camera that we make, the Insta360 One, and so now we've applied this same technology to the Pro, to our Pro camera for the first time ever. There's a tripod mount on the top. Oh, so this is actually meant for pairing a microphone. So like an H2N mic, if you want to use. Okay. So up here, these are also new. Here you have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Yep, and then on this side you have a USB 2.0, and then you actually also have the same options on the bottom side as well. So depending if you're mounting this on a drone, for example, or if you have it upright, there's different configurations that you'd want to use. But also they got these are mics. Exactly. So aside from if you want a lot of the Pro creators, they want to use their own audio system, but this actually has 4 mics on board, and it's ready for spherical audio. So you're also going to be able to get a 360-degree audio capture straight off that camera. So sounds like this Insta360 Pro 2 had everything covered. You get it? So thank you for watching this video, and thank you for Eli explaining this to us. This will be available to purchase in 2 weeks, as I heard. Exactly. So we're launching on August 21st, and then orders are live as soon as we launch. Check this out. Bye.